So far, the biggest news of the day, I believe, in terms of name-wise, is D'Angelo Russell's going to be on his fourth team in 5 years. He'll play for the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team who he nearly signed with in the offseason. And he was traded for Andrew Wiggins, right? And then the Miami Heat, they traded for Andre Iguodala and gave him an extension, and Justice Winslow was one of the pieces that went back in return. I have opinions on the Heat, and they're not good ones if you're a Miami Heat fan. I have opinions on the Warriors. They are good ones if you're a Warriors fan. The Minnesota Timberwolves will continue to be exactly what you think they are. The Clippers and Lakers are both all in, and yet we're left to talk about the New York Knicks. So here was the groundbreaking Woj bomb. And, oh yeah, I have to mention this. Of all the deals that were done, today, I believe, and last night, I believe Andre Iguodala is the only deal that people foresaw. That's the only one. And it was because Andre Iguodala became a name and it got discussed and whatever. And was he going to get bought out? Was he going to get traded? If he got bought out, there was the thought that he would then sign with the Lakers. Rob Pelinka's his former agent. Would he go back to the Warriors, who he has saw success with, who he was 5 years ago, the NBA Finals MVP? Like, that was Iguodala, which only lends us to this. Here's a statement you can take away. I don't care if the Lakers win a championship and Magic Johnson claims that he is responsible. Magic Johnson, in the role of president of the Lakers, was a complete joke. Because he couldn't go to the restroom without someone tweeting about it. And all this information leaks for a reason, because somebody wants it out there. The way to do business in the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball, if you want to pull off a deal, no one should know about it. Don't tell nobody nothing about nothing, right? Because the second there's a leak about, Lakers are, wait. What? There will be another bidder, and you end up being bid up, or you end up bidding even against yourself. No leaks. And the only time that wasn't true was when Magic Johnson was president of the Lakers. All right. So now we fast forward to today, where Adrian Wojnarowski and others, Shams Charania as well, dropped the bombs that Leon Rose is going to be the new president of the New York Knicks. Now, Leon Rose is a really powerful agent. He's somewhere in between the old regime, which was David Falk, was Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing's agent, and kind of the new era of guys, right? The Rich Pauls of the world. There is precedent for this, not just Rob Pelinka, but, the Pistons and, of course, the Golden State Warriors, right? Bob Myers, a former agent, and he pulled off a big trade. He's obviously done pretty well for himself. I want you to keep in mind that the New York Knicks, since 2000, have had Isaiah Thomas, Donnie Walsh, Glenn Grunwald, Steve Mills, Phil Jackson, Steve Mills, Scott Perry, right? They've had all of these different names. They've kind of tried everything. Like, I didn't think Phil Jackson would be a great president of basketball operations because he'd never done it before, because he'd only been a coach, not a talent evaluator. That proved to be accurate, but he was a former Knick, and the only way to get him was to give him the moon, the stars, and the sun, which included the ability to pick the groceries. Okay. Donnie Walsh had built the Indiana Pacers into an NBA Finals participant. Isaiah Thomas, look, Isaiah Thomas was bad. He was just not good. But he had previously run the Toronto Raptors and gotten some credit for initially the building blocks there. Damon Stoudemire, Vince Carter, et cetera, et cetera. So the New York Knicks are in a copycat league. They all are copying the Lakers and the Warriors, and to a lesser extent, the Pistons. But I actually think this makes a ton of sense. Leon Rose works for CAA. Full disclosure, I'm rep by CAA, not by Leon Rose. Other side, big company. Shortly before firing team president, this was from Woj and Ramona Shelburne, Knicks owner James Dolan began exploring front office models by hiring a top executive out of the player agent ranks. Rose reps Joel Embiid, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Karl Towns, Carmelo Anthony, Kyle Kuzma. Previously, he repped LeBron James before Rich Paul took over, and Allen Iverson. Now, coming along with Rose is a guy named Worldwide Wes, right? And you've probably heard of Worldwide Wes because, one, he's out of Detroit. Two, he was like a connector to LeBron and to all these, a lot of high school players and where they would go and connect them to Kentucky. I don't know if this works, or I don't think it works in Oklahoma City or in San Antonio or even in Phoenix. Right? Arn Tellem, who's running the Detroit Pistons, has not yet hit in Detroit. But the Lakers and the Knicks and the Bulls, and to a lesser extent the Nets, they're not built truly through the draft. They're supposed to be destination franchises. And as much as you can chant fire Dolan or sell the team, he actually has listened to you or listened to the narrative that, hey, guys don't want to play for the Knicks because of Dolan. The only way to get guys to sign as free agents when everyone can offer the same amount of money is through relationships. Right? Sports is a business, and business is done through relationships. Who you know is more important than what you know. Don't get me wrong. They're going to need an assistant GM and other guys that need a cap specialist. They need some assistant GMs. They need guys that can evaluate talent through the NBA draft. Not just picking the top end prospects, but can you find a diamond in the rough in the second round? Like, all these things are in fact important. But the Knicks go through an offseason where they don't even get an interview with Kyrie, don't get an interview with Kevin Durant, don't get a sit down with Paul George, don't get a sit down with Kawhi Leonard. And you know what? Good for them for figuring out, hey, people don't like us. There's something to Leon Rose that he has all this diverse group of clients from all over the world, all over the country. And Worldwide Wes is a connector. I think it makes total sense. If you don't like the Knicks move, then you just don't like any move the Knicks would make. That's it. If you don't like the Knicks move, you don't like any move they would make. Because Pelinka has figured it out. Bob Myers has figured it out. And it doesn't mean that Leon Rose will work, but damn it, they've tried everything else. While others will clown that people are unqualified and this is a reach, it is. But there have been plenty of other hires that made a ton of sense that didn't work there. And just like Bill Belichick, when he didn't have a pass rush, brought in 5 defensive ends. And when he didn't have wide receivers, he brought in 6 wide receivers and then did move mountains to get Antonio Brown and to get Josh Gordon. You have to identify your problem and go about fixing it. And the Knicks' problem was nobody wanted to sign with the Knicks, even if they had all this money. And everybody likes Worldwide Wes, and everybody likes Leon Rose. Doesn't mean problem completely solved, but at least they're addressing the problem. Tony Allen is joining us on trade deadline day. How are you, TA?
I'm all right. I'm just cooling out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I like what Andre Iguodala did for Andre Iguodala.
Most definitely.
I don't like what Andre Iguodala did if I'm the Miami Heat. Let me explain why. Okay.
Right.
Andre Iguodala was perfect for the Golden State Warriors because when they went small ball, he was like the 4-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, leave him open for a reason, and he can guard almost any position. He made enough shots. You know, obviously he made enough shots to be Finals MVP during their first championship run. But there's a specific fit there. So he didn't want to play for Memphis. He didn't want to be bought out or traded or whatever, so he spent first half of the season on the golf course. And I'd assume still working on his body and getting right. But any kind of wash to be like 15, now he's 2 years, $30 million in the extension.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing 20 minutes a game and couldn't stay healthy last year. Couldn't be healthy through the whole playoffs last year. Now he's a year older. And, you know, I don't, you know, he's not going to play the 5 there because they have a really talented shot blocking big
All-star.
right?
All-star.
So in fit, and then they're not I don't feel like they're a championship team, and he's that one piece. And to pay him $15 million,
it's kind of a little overrated. You
a
believe?
little bit.
But
now he might not. Hey, I'm not going to show up unless you give me an extension. So I appreciate from the business perspective, like I like what Andre Iguodala did for Andre Iguodala. But the Miami Heat, are they closer to winning a championship now?
Now, see, that's where the questions and the struggles come in. However, we got to put respect on his name. He's a 3-time champion, Finals MVP. He's made the defense of all defense teams. Got great, pedigree with stopping guys. That's his lane. And we saw what he did with LeBron one year. But right now at 36,
like 5 years ago.
At 36 years old, I think this year taking off maybe gave him an extra year or two, just because of the rest. His limbs and joints is just healed up. His little nagging injuries that you have throughout the season. It's probably, just where it need to be for his age.
But how hard is that to go from? And he's one of those guys who's always going to be in shape, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got.
But rest, man.
I get it.
Load management. You just did a whole load management year for yourself.
Yes, but now you're going to start playing in like mid-late February.
And you should have all the energy in the world. However, the thing is, you said it. He don't come and stay. You know what I mean? If the trade goes through, he might stay in Memphis if they don't get the $30 million part on it. It might be a little overrated for his age, but you can't hate the game. You got to respect the player.
I do. I absolutely do. What do you think about this move? And look, Arntelm's running the Pistons.
Mm-hmm. Another agent.
Yeah. Bob Myers is running obviously the Warriors, and Rob Pelinka's running the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks hire Leon Rose, really well-respected agent.
Mm-hmm.
And Worldwide West is also going to be part of the organization, which is like, if you know any of the story of Worldwide West, for him to be like, go legit and actually work for an organization, that's mind-blowing. Does the Leon Rose hire make sense to you?
Well, like they say, anytime Worldwide West is in the building, they make a mess. So
yes.
It's something big about that. However, I just think it's a copycat league, man. We hiring all agents. Obviously you see what the Golden State Warriors did with bringing in Clay and Draymond and putting that group together, and signing KD or whatnot. I just think these guys got great ties with a lot of people in the league, and they in the know. They friends with friends, and they all have mutual friends. And like I said, whenever an agent is in full control like that, it ain't hard for them to get a sign.
So it makes sense to me for the Knicks, because the Knicks are probably sitting there going like, look, we're the biggest market in the league.
Biggest market.
Right? We play in an absolute palace.
Exactly.
Okay, people are talking about us, and we haven't been good in forever. Why won't KD wouldn't give him a meeting, Kyrie wouldn't give him a meeting, Kawhi wouldn't give him a meeting, LeBron wouldn't give him a meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
AD never said, I want to be a Knick. I'm sure he wouldn't have turned it down. Why would this be? And it had to be that they didn't have relationships, right? They didn't have relationships.
Whatsoever.
So now you hire an agent at Worldwide West, and at least
who's definitely involved with a little bit of everything that's going on with each and every NBA player that's doing something big. So
it's not a crazy idea.
Why wouldn't you want to put those guys in charge and get 3 good all-stars who will commit to come? I see that with those Leon Rose and West in charge over there.
I agree with you. Doug Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Clippers or Lakers? Who do you like more? Just so you know, Mo Harkless was moved today, and Marcus Morris comes back to the Clippers. The Clippers also traded for Isaiah Thomas, IT coming over from the Washington Wizards. So those are the only 2 acquisitions made. Both the Clippers, Lakers haven't done anything as of yet.
Lakers haven't done anything else yet.
I think the Lakers are getting Darren Collison. I think that's why they haven't made a move yet.
Darren Collison,
mm-hmm.
He's back.
Well, he's retired, but he's supposed to train to come back.
He's back. Okay, so both things make sense. I like the addition with IT. Maybe he get the platform now to compete on a high level. Maybe get some big games, get a bigger contract. We all know what happened with his hip.
Yep.
Back in the day with injury. Not sure how he's gonna fit with that second unit with two small guards.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess Pat starts, so he can come off the bench. I just don't know how he plays.
Still a lot of little guards.
Yes.
They're just little guards. You got Lou.
Yeah, it doesn't
Pat. But they scores, and that's what this league is driven about now. So they can run it up. I know that with those additions. However, the Lakers, they've been solid with their group all year. Look, they're number one in the West. I don't see if anything's broke. Why change it? But they could use a few upgrading additions.
Mark Stein reports that the Lakers are going to give J.R. Smith a post-trade deadline audition, okay, perhaps soon as next week, and then they're the favorites to sign Darren Collison. So it looks like that's their
either J.R. or
both.
Or both?
Yeah, because they'll probably cut Rondo, and if they get Collison, that's
how they going?
Yeah.
That's what they doing?
I'm more sure than I am.
I don't like
unsure.
those words that's coming out of your mouth.
Why is that?
Like,
Tony Allen, our guest. Why?
Yo, son, that's my brother.
Because
what are you doing? He the wizard. You can't cut him.
Why can't you cut Rondo? Again, when was the last time Rondo was really good? And I think they feel like Rondo. You can't play like Rondo 10 minutes a game. He doesn't roll like that.
Right.
And it's just that's how it goes. They like Caruso better off the bench because Caruso, you could play Caruso 2 minutes, he'd be great. You could play him 20 minutes, he'd be great. Whereas Rondo, can't play him.
You got to play him a whole quarter.
Got to play him, and it's hard to play him with LeBron when he's not a great shooter.
And that's the buzz that's going on in the media world, man.
Not the media world. That's in the real world.
Just in the real world.
I'm just letting you know. If you had to guess right now, if you had to pick right now, the Lakers and the Clippers, who do you like more?
And that's what I was trying to break that down with you, man. I'm gonna have to go stay with the Lakers, man. I'm gonna have to stay with the Lakers. They go because I only say this because I don't like those additions with IT and Morris.
Okay, I agree with you on IT.
I thought Morris is great for the wing, but I just think they needed more. They
need a rim protector. They need a rebounder, right?
More guys bigger than. Not saying that Harrell ain't a fit, make it get it done, but they needed a guy with size that could cover up the rim, man.
Yeah. Otherwise, you got Anthony Davis, and you have others. Let's get you quickly to an update. I want to talk to you about Kobe in a second. Let's quickly get you an update. Tony Allen continues to join us. Dan Byer, Dan, what do you got?
Doug, bunch of deals done in the NBA. Pistons trading center Andre Drummond to the Cavaliers. In return, Detroit gets Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-rounder. Clippers did get Marcus Morris, you guys were just talking about in that trade with the Knicks. That will include Isaiah Thomas going from the Wizards to the Clippers. Knicks are getting a first-round pick as part of the deal. Clippers are sending Mo Harkless to the Knicks. Now, the Lakers not interested in giving up Kyle Kuzma, so instead Marcus Morris goes to the Clips. Warriors sent D'Angelo Russell to the Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins. There are other pieces of this deal. The Warriors are getting a protected first-round pick in 2021 along with a second-rounder. Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman are part of the package heading to Minnesota. Timberwolves are now part of the Heat Grizzlies trade, sending Andre Iguodala to Miami as Gorky Jeng is being part of the deal. Deion Waiters going to Memphis from Miami as part of the trade. Danilo Gallinari stays a member of the Thunder, not on his way to the Miami Heat, according to ESPN.
Memphis did real.
You like what Memphis has done?
I like that trade.
Which one?
Waiters, James Johnson,
and Justice Winslow.
Man, that was big.
Yeah.
That was big. We might make we making the playoffs. For sure we making the playoffs. It's lit.
Tony Allen joining us. Obviously got John Morant. They gave
John Morant. Oh, it's lit. It's all the way up. Like, oh my, I'm surprised my phone haven't went off. But that's a nice trade. Great.
You coming out of retirement to play on that team? Is that what you're telling us about your phone blowing up?
No. I can't play in today's league, man. How physical I
am. Okay, so that's funny. So you can play the 4.
Yeah, I could definitely play the floor. PJ Tucker style. Yeah, right? They let me bang down there.
Totally. Got to work on your jumper, though, man. Something about Oklahoma State guys.
Now, you know what? Hold on. Speaking of that, I was just having a shooting contest with one of the D-League guys down in Hustle. Dusty. You know Dusty Hanna? Oh, this guy shoots from half court with his eyes closed. But listen, I've learned that what was the reason why I couldn't shoot as great as I could now.
Why?
I jumped too damn high. Like,
yeah, you don't have to jump on a jump shot.
And you don't have to jump that high. And I've noticed that as this late in my career.
Hey, what up? Doug Gottlieb here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Fox Sports Radio. You can catch my show, all the shows on Fox Sports Radio, unique interviews, strong takes, just interesting discussion on the sports topic of the day, of the week, of the month. It's all encompassing. It's everything you need right here on YouTube. Subscribe.